There is a lot of talk about physical health, about wealth. We've even talked about time management quite a bit on the podcast ourselves. One thing that we often leave to the wayside, it's become more popular in the past years as time has gone on, but it's our mental health. As busy dads, there is so much going on and so much weighing on us that we don't talk about. Today, we're going to talk about the mind clutter, what it is, why it happens, and why we should be trying to get rid of it, and how to get rid of it. I'm Nathaniel 𝐬𝐬𝐧'𝐭, host of the Fit Fatherhood Podcast. My partner, Zach Bush, is not here tonight. I'm going solo. Am I even freaking? I am on screen right now. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Let's dive into the thoughts that shape our concepts of reality. It shapes our outcomes. It shapes how we enter into each day. It shapes how we go about each day. And how journaling, you've heard me talk about this before. You've heard Zach talk about before, how journaling can help us to reduce the stress, to help sharpen our focus, to help us even give us more energy because we are no longer consumed. We are not spending energy in those thoughts, and to help us expand our leadership inside and outside of our homes. Of course, this is Fit Fatherhood. We are talking about being a father kind of first and foremost, but we have businesses that we're running, we have careers that we're climbing up the corporate ladder, we have other relationships besides those with our spouse and our children that we want to lead from the front end. So mental clutter causes us to just leak energy. When we're stuck in thoughts and stuck in, you know, worry, it causes us to lose energy and lose focus in areas where we should be present and focused in. Um, So many of us, me included, I find myself sometimes operating on autopilot, going through the day. And I heard something on a different podcast this morning. I think it might have been a book, whatever, doesn't matter where I heard it. But so many of us, each day is the same. We get up, we do the same routine in the morning, if we have a morning routine at all. I'm down here on Instagram as well, so follow me on Instagram. And then we go to a 9 to 5 where it's pretty the same thing, and we end up on autopilot. And it makes it so we don't have a bunch of memories. Of we are creatures of habit, but we are creatures that want to have experiences. We want to be able to look back on the year and go, all the cool things that we did. Mental clutter, when we're on autopilot, we're just leaking, we're just losing energy, we're just going through the motions. And so these, especially from the male standpoint, a reason why we've opened Fit Fatherhood, the Facebook group, the Facebook community, why we have coffee hours on Friday mornings, why we have dad chats on the weekends, why we have group calls, is because as men, we don't feel we have this safe space to just let it all out. And so we want to provide, man, my mouse is not working. I can't click over and see the chat here. We want to provide spaces for us to just be able to let things out, because these unspoken thoughts, they lead to stress, they lead to indecision, they lead to tension, and that just weighs on us. And a lot of this can stem from having a lack of clarity of where we're trying to go and what we're trying to be as a husband, as a father, as a man. And so it creates reactivity instead of proactivity. If we have clear goals and clear vision of where we're trying to go and what we're trying to accomplish, we're able to be more intentional about our days and about our thoughts and where we're going. So, you're not tired necessarily because you're so busy. You're tired because you're carrying all this unprocessed thoughts, all these unprocessed feelings, and you don't have a place to let them out. Even the best relationship with your spouse, there are still things that we hold inside of us because we just feel that they will not understand. And so getting this mental clutter out is very helpful. And so that's why we highly recommend journaling. Now, I just got off a call with a new client today, and we talked about this. Putting the very first thing we put in place is journaling some wins, at least 3 wins every single night. Now, we've talked about that before. This isn't necessarily helping us with the mental clutter, but this is helping us with being in a positive mindset, a gratitude mindset, looking back at the day and being able to sing all the things that we accomplished rather than what we are lacking. So it can be as simple as making your bed. I like to say that one because that's one of the first wins I give myself every day. It doesn't make it to my journal most days because I have other ones that have populated and I've developed this habit of gratitude and habit of looking at wins. But that's one of my first wins every single day is making my bed. And I just let it spiral from there or spiral upward. I love that. And somebody said that in the Fit Fatherhood Facebook group recently. They were spiraling upward, and it's such a cool thing. It's such a cool picture. But journaling, eh, and I've said this before, especially for me. I grew up with like the movie Clueless, and you see her on her bed with her pink foofy pen, the frills, the puffball on top, and she's got her pink diary with hearts and things all over it, and she's got her feet up and she's kicking her feet and she's talking about Billy and how cute Billy is and how he looked at her and he winked at her in the wall. That's not what we're talking about with journaling. It can be, you can still write all those fun things down and all those just feelings and thoughts and stuff, but we're talking about writing down and getting rid of the things in your head, in your place. It's a place to detox. It's a place to get rid of your clutter. It's a place to plan and prep. When you have that intentionality, you're able to say, this is what I'm doing tomorrow because these are the highest and best things that get me to where I'm trying to go. It's a spot for you to look back. I was just looking back on one of my journals. Man, I got some itchy nose right now. I was just looking back on one of my journals last night, and it's so cool to see some of the things that have iterated over the past 5 months and some of the things that I've just been so freaking consistent with that I have grown in. And I'm able to see the reason that I've grown is because I've been really consistent in these things. So you're able to see patterns, you're able to see, mindset shifts, mindset loops that you may get stuck in and document these things over time. Sorry. Okay. So a challenge. Well, you know what? We're not going to get to the challenge yet. I'm going to challenge you in a little bit, but you don't have to overthink this. Again, wins and just getting the thoughts off your brain, the thoughts out of your head. I hope you can hear me on Instagram, by the way. Um, was that Jeremiah? Hey, Jeremiah. I like to do journaling in the morning. I don't do it every day. I like to do journaling at night, the last thing I do before I go to bed. It's getting me in a place of gratitude before I hit the hay. It's also just letting me brain dump. It's doing a couple things for me. It's getting the things out of my head that I have been mulling around with and onto paper. So I know, hey, those thoughts are there. I don't have to think about them anymore. I've gotten them out. Right? They're on my paper. I can come back to them in the morning. I can come back to them next day or even later on those week or whatever if I so choose, which frees me to just go to bed. So many people that I talk to, they get into bed, and it happens to me still sometimes, is we get into bed and we can't fall asleep because our mind is just going, 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 going. Since I started incorporating this, I fall asleep so quickly. I literally, I pray, I say things that I'm grateful for, and then I ask for a good night's sleep. And Brittany can attest. I am 3 to 5 minutes, I'm out. Staying to sleep is a different story, but I go to sleep very well. And because I've written these things down, now subconsciously my brain is going to work while I am asleep. So you'd be surprised how many times you may write down this thing that this problem trying to solve, this bottleneck in your business, this relationship that you're dealing with at work, a thing that's going on with your kids, and then we wake up in the morning and you have this epiphany. It's because your mind was able to go to work subconsciously overnight. So don't overthink it. Your journal is not, it doesn't have to be. It's not a diary. It's a tool. It's a powerful tool that you use to help regulate your emotions. So, I already talked about how as men we don't have these safe spaces. We don't have these places where we can unleash our emotions. That's something I've been very grateful for with the coffee hour, with the dad chats, and these are shameless plugs here. You should come join us if any of this is kind of resonating with you, is that we've got a cool space where people are able to open up, and we're sharing with each other. We're sharing places that we're feeling vulnerable, but we're also sharing tips and things like that, from fitness mindset to just straight up, hey, this is what my kid's doing. How did you deal with this as somebody who has a 12-year-old? How did you deal with it when they were 4 years old? Being able to regulate your emotions, it's such a powerful tool. It helps us to respond instead of react to situations. Man, I'm speaking to myself so much when I talk about this, is because it's something that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, is being less reactive and more responsive and present and passionate and, oh, what's the word there? Like, emotionally connected. Tip of the tongue. That's all right. I just love journaling. Okay. It's not we grew up in a society, and I use we, I'm 40, gonna be 41 in a month, where men were men. We stuffed it down, and we dealt with our emotions by just pushing through. We can still do that. I'm not saying we have to be just going and throwing our emotions everywhere, but we do wanna have spaces where we're able to get that out. Do it in your Have the conversations, have the challenging conversations with your spouse, but come and have the conversations with other men. Inside the Facebook group, we have people that are being vulnerable, something that, uh, has been really cool, opening up this space. So, we gotta stop avoiding our emotions, avoiding letting them out. It's not stuffing it down, that's not real strength, it's knowing when to be still, using your tools, the journaling, to get these things out. Okay. I appreciate you guys for being here live right now and showing your support. I'm getting through this pretty well. I feel like I have a tendency to ramble anyway. So, yeah. So, here's the challenge. Okay. 5 minutes. If you're already doing some journaling, you can add this on top. Maybe you can use some of these to supplement, but do your wins and then add 5 minutes here. Okay. We're going to prompt, let's see. We can think about, what are the things that I'm tolerating that aren't in alignment with where I'm trying to go? What beliefs am I holding that are not serving me currently, or serving the person who I'm becoming, my future me? That father that's leading from the front, that's father that's leading from a place of empathy. There was the word, empathy. That father that's leading from a place of responsiveness and presence, and not reactivity and snapping. What are these things that are living rent free in your head that you're just mulling on constantly? Write them down, get them out. What beliefs are you carrying that aren't serving you? What do I need to let go of? Okay, these aren't things that you necessarily have answers to every single night, but you can sit with them and let that pen flow out and let these emotions release and feel how it affects the rest of your day, your relationships, your energy levels. You can't lead others well if you can't leave yourself well. You can't lead yourself well. So let that sit for a second. Just take 5 minutes each night before you go to bed. Reflect, let these things out, then get back to your life. Get back to your life. Lead with clarity, lead with presence, empathy. I love empathy. Lead with empathy. Appreciate y'all for being here live, both on Instagram and on YouTube. If you haven't joined the Fit Fatherhood community yet, you could go to nathanielhefsepian.com and find it there, or you can just type Fit Fatherhood into Facebook. We are almost at 200 members. We are growing very strong. We have a bunch of people in there that have gotten value and are sharing it with other people. So that's how we're growing. It's an amazing community. We have Friday morning calls, which I don't want to say definitively, but are not going anywhere. That's 9 a.m. Eastern time. You don't even have to be in the Facebook group. to take part in those calls. We do host them in there though, or post them in there, so it's easy to get there, but you can just reach out to me on Facebook, on Instagram. If you join here live, you could reach out to me on LinkedIn. I don't do the best job of checking it though. We are taking on, well, reset currently. We postponed it a week so we could get some more people in and get them started. I actually just started today with one person in a one-on-one setting. So we're really excited for the transformations that are going to be happening over the next 5 to 6 weeks with our new clients. So come join the Facebook group, get involved, get active. It's a great community to come be a part of, and to just be surrounded by other like-minded individuals, like-minded dads, like-minded men who are all working on growing from their health, their wellness, physically, from the mindset perspective, emotionally, spiritually, and just being better leaders and better examples for their families. Appreciate y'all for joining live on Instagram, live on YouTube. Later, y'all.